it is a funny thing about the modern world we're living in, where if you believe that World War III has indeed commenced, if you go, hey, this is just the start of it, and our guest Rudyard, he has some thoughts about this stuff, and I'm looking forward to talking to him about it. But if you believe that World War III has started and some shit is about to go down, we live in a world where you can now put your money where your mouth is. And I'm not talking about shorting the S&P 500 the day before 9/11. That was just a coincidence. That was just, hey, broken clock is right twice a day, right? No. You can bet on this shit on Polymarket, right? You can really bet on this stuff for real. You can right now on Polymarket for 9 cents, you can buy $1 on Polymarket that a nuclear weapon will detonate anywhere in the world before January 1st, 2025. That includes nuclear tests. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but that includes nuclear tests. So there's only been, since 1992, there's been 2 nuclear tests. North Korea in 2017 did one. And then before that, I believe it was the Americans did one in 92. So you could bet it pays 11-1. Those are good odds. Or are they? I don't know. Now, I don't think you could do this, but if you want to really get some action, like if you're just a real degenerate gambler, right? Like you're just like 11-1. I don't even get out of bed for 11-1. I don't feel anything for 11-1, right? You get nothing. Well, you can, and I don't know if they let you do a little parlay over on Polymarket. Maybe that'll be the next iteration. Although I think maybe at that point they're like, well, that is not a prediction site any longer. This is a gambling site. Maybe it's different regulations. And, the owner of Polymarket got raided by the FBI and is in all sorts of trouble. I don't know if he's actually in trouble, but he did get raided by the FBI. Funny how that works. But you can bet on, and this only goes to January 20th, you could bet on whether Donald Trump will be inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. It doesn't even have to be the 47th president. Will he be inaugurated on January 20th? That's currently paying, if you bet no, that's paying 20-1. So if you parlay a nuclear detonation happening before January 1st and Trump not being the president, not being inaugurated on January 20th, which you could see some overlap there, potentially, right? You could see some scenario where if one of those becomes true, of the first one, the nuke, then maybe, or maybe not. I mean, maybe the second one becomes more likely. Maybe not in that order. But if you could parlay those two bad boys, that pays 220-1. Now we're talking. That's $5 bet. Pays $1,100. And all you need to happen is a nuclear detonation and Donald Trump not being inaugurated on January 20th. Now, there's a case to be made, a reasonable case to be made, that if a nuclear bomb is detonated, what good is money? Do you even care about money? Or you go, great, my 220-1 long shot hit. That's awesome. But there's no money, doesn't buy you anything anymore. It's all just brute force and guns and gold and milk and shit. Like you don't care about money anymore. Money's useless if nukes go off. We're living in a world where everybody's goddamn skin is peeling off their fucking face. We're all dying of radiation poisoning, and you're like, yeah, I don't really need the money.